Amberlynn has uploaded another What I Ate Today video, episode 2, because the first was such a roaring success. She's always telling us she's not going back to the mukbang, she's not doing this for the feeders, and yet the thumbnail is her mid-bite like she's auditioning for My £600 Life the musical. But no, this is for her accountability. The no diet diet has failed. Shocking, what a twist. Apparently, just not thinking about it didn't miraculously melt the weight away. Who could have foreseen this? She says a version of Amberlynn could make it work. It's interesting phrasing. Perhaps a version of Amberlynn with discipline, follow-through, and an ounce of self-awareness. A mythical creature indeed. She derails within seconds to talk about her dog eating in the background. She's filming a video about food, yet finds her dog's food sounds intrusive. The irony is deafening. She's using Noom, again. She praises the educational lessons, but, let's be clear, spends more time asserting that she already knows all of this. Of course, she's not learning, she's reviewing. She's basically auditing the concept of weight loss for fun. Because we all know the problem isn't knowledge, it's execution. And weight loss apps cannot track delusion. She pre-logged all of her calories the night before. It's a promising notion, until you remember that planning a binge doesn't make it strategy. She's also still playing pretend with her goals. 2 bottles of water and 3 takeouts in a week. The bar is subterranean. This isn't accountability, it's theatre. She's still ordering in, still spiralling behind closed doors, still calling it structure because she wrote it down the night before like a teenage food diary. Amberlynn, you're not logging calories. You're logging intentions you have no intention of honouring. And once again, she's showing us every bite, every sip, every rationalisation and calling it content. But this isn't a weight loss journey. It's a reality show with no resolution starring a woman who's convinced that filming herself eating is the same thing as doing work. Her calorie range is between 2,600 and 3,400, and she calls that hecticana. The only thing hecticana here is the vocabulary. She said ad nauseum so many times I'm now experiencing nausea. We get it, you like to think you're well read, in a sense that you have a list of 5 phrases and you're determined to wear them out like dollar Walmart sandals. As for the metabolism talk, she blames the menopause, lymphedema, lipedema, and the position of Saturn in retrograde. At this point she could stub her toe and blame the moon. She says she sticks closer to 2,600 because 3,400 freaks her out. But let's be honest, she's freaked out by water, vegetables and accountability, so that sentiment holds as much weight as her next weigh-in. Pun intended. And then behold, the ceremonial unveiling of the sushi, a tradition as old as her channel itself. Except now it comes with calorie counts and delusions on the side. She tells us she planned her whole day around this. Let that sit. This isn't a wedding, it's sushi. 922 calories for deep-fried crab salad with rice, and she's congratulating herself like she just invented restraint. I'm able to eat in moderation, she says, while showing off the rice wrapped in seaweed and narcissism. And the theatrics! I don't use soy sauce because it's that good. If it's that good, why does it look like it was dragged across state lines on the back of a car? She lovingly lifts it towards the camera like it's the crown jewel of Mount Sushi. She gives us a play-by-play on rice, seaweed and avocado, as though this is the first time anyone's ever encountered sushi. Some people haven't had sushi, she tells us, in the same breath as explaining that it's made of rice and seaweed. It's groundbreaking. And let us not forget the water. I can't have Diet Coke until I finish the water, she proclaims, like she's forging a noble treaty with her pancreas. Amber, you're not rationing medicine in a war zone. You're drinking bottled water with seafood. She finishes this segment with Hulu praise, ginger reverence, and a vague claim to watching The Good American. It's a fitting title considering she's devoured 900 calories before noon and calling it progress. And then Act 2, cheesy rice and emotional damage. We open with our heroine telling us about what she considers cardio, taking the trash to the dumpster. How invigorating. She earns her second water bottle with the reverence of a monk receiving sacred wine. And now onto the meal, or rather a performance art piece titled Leftovers of Confusion. She declares she doesn't reheat rice because that's apparently a culinary betrayal. Instead, she insists on cooking fresh rice, just to drench it in cheese. A gourmet, truly. And the plate of cheesy rice, broccoli, and lean ground beef, carefully seasoned, as she proudly informs us, with pepper, garlic salt, and enough minced garlic to scare away a vampire horde. She claims this plate is 770 calories, and I find that calculation as reliable as her upload schedule. And then she eats it standing up. She just stands there hovering over the camera. This is a lot of food, she says with awe in her voice, as if she didn't assemble it with her own 2 hands. And then the sacred reward, a caffeine-free Diet Coke. Because nothing says health like cheesy rice chased down by brown bubbles and denial. She speaks of making meals big but within calories. But just call it what it is. A binge in beige. She's chasing volume, not nutrition. And for a woman who just cooked cheesy rice, opened leftovers, plated a massive portion and poured a Diet Coke, she still couldn't even sit down to eat it. She just hovers over the plate like a gargoyle. And now we arrive at the ritual cleansing scene. A moment so meaningless she just had to film it. Brushing her hair before a shower. Why? Not because it matters, but because someone might accuse her of filming on a different day. The horror, the absolute social crime of batch filming. She must clarify it's literally the same day. Then, finally, the third act. Breakfast for dinner. A culinary event of chorizo, eggs, and random root vegetables. She slices the pre-cooked chorizo with the solemnity of a butcher sacrificing a sacred beast. And then a spray of Pam. She apologizes for using the non-stick spray as if she'd just used seal fat harvested in blood ritual. It's taboo when I do it, she whines, because everything is a conspiracy against Our Lady of Suffering. Then come the eggs, fried to a crisp, of course, because apparently she prefers her yolks the colour and texture of antique furniture. The eggs are in love, she says, because they're stuck together. It's adorable, and I'm sure their toxic codependency will inspire a future romance arc in her next vlog. The finished plate is 2 eggs, sliced chorizo, raw carrots, radish, and a Sprite Zero to wash down the chaos. She announces this culinary masterpiece is 393 calories. Yes, I'm sure. She adds that she's been loving a raw carrot lately, as if that sentence holds any weight or interest outside of a Bugs Bunny fan club. This bite is for you guys, she said, as though she's handing out communion. No, Amber. This bite is for the people paying your rent by hate watching. Let's not pretend otherwise. And now the curtain falls on this theatrical tragedy with the final act. Snack time. Because of course, what is a day of disciplined dieting without dairy logs and frozen dessert? She unveils her snacks like she's introducing sacred artifacts. 2 salami mozzarella roll-ups, because 3 is a serving and naturally she must rebel against even that. Baby carrots for the illusion of health, and a frozen cream pop that she lovingly describes as heavenly. A snack, she informs us, that totals 297 calories, because it's very important we believe she's being exact, despite everything we've heard, seen, and wept over. And then the final incantation of the evening. This is all I'm eating for the rest of the night. She says it like it's sacrificial, like she's laid her body down for the cause. No, darling, you've had 3 entire meals and a dessert platter disguised as snack time. And then a Glacier Freeze Gatorade washes it all down. And with that, she declares her total, 2,382 calories. Beneath the limit, within her mystical range. A day of manufactured triumph narrated like a martyr's tale. And now the grand finale, food for thought. A segment so devoid of thought it might actually loop back around to performance art. She begins by telling us she wouldn't change a single thing. Every bite, every sip, every dopamine-drenched calorie was perfect. But she must reflect, mustn't she? So she decides maybe she didn't need 2 sushi rolls. This is a woman who stands to eat and believes counting calories gives us spiritual clarity. Let us not expect nuance. Was there a moment you were about to fall off track but stopped yourself? Her answer? No. Because nothing says emotional regulation like a day meticulously engineered around takeout processed meats and internalized praise. Do you consider today a success? Of course she does. A frozen cream pop and 2 baby carrots apparently make her feel like a champion. She's proud. And for Amberlynn, pride is less a milestone and more a reflex. A self-soothing spell whispered into a reflection at bedtime. She ends with, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I don't think we're entertained. We're just documenting the collapse. But yes, thank you for this parade of portion control cosplay. And that concludes another riveting performance of What I Ate Today, the calorie counting cabaret. A round of applause for our leading lady who bravely showed us that planning takeout in advance makes it healthy. Eating standing up is apparently a lifestyle choice, and every processed mouthful is a declaration of victory. She's learned nothing, changed nothing, and remains blissfully insulated in a cocoon of pre-logged calories and self-congratulation. And we, the audience, are expected to applaud her for eating broccoli and resisting an ice cream cone. It's so daring. But don't worry, we'll still be here week after week with notebook in hand and disdain in our hearts. Until next time, stay sharp, stay seated, and remember, just because it's logged doesn't mean it's progress.